Even our presidential residents are here. All right. It is 6:30 on Wednesday, June 10th, 2026. We are calling to order the regular meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission of the City of Manor. We have a quorum present. We will start off. We have a different agenda from most in my last 24 months being here. We have no public hearings tonight. We'll start with public comments. Those have filled out. We have no white cards, but the yellow cards allow for comments to be taken from the audience on non-agenda and agenda items combined for a length of time not to exceed 5 minutes. That's total per person on all items except for public hearings. Those will be called up when the items for the public hearing are called, and they will have 2 minutes at that time to speak on the public hearing item. No action or discussion may be taken during public comments on non-agenda items. So with that, I will, Mr. Robert Battle, you are signed up to speak on several items and non-agenda item.
Yes, thank you. My name is Robert Battle. I call myself the mayor of Manor Village since I'm the only one trying to save our town. I had some high hopes for you guys, but I think you're all just like little puppet cutouts. All you do is anything Scott Dunlap sends your way, which I'm not sure why the assistant director's up there now, or any of the city staff. This is supposed to be your dais. You're supposed to review the comprehensive plan annually. You can do your own agenda, but you're too lazy to do it. You should do some charter town halls. Part of your mission is planning. You do no planning, absolutely no planning. You haven't added one thing in years. We haven't added one park anywhere. Okay, so now I'm putting together these dings, this list. I don't know if you got it. I emailed it kind of late to the city. When you screw up, I'm going to ask the jury for money from you guys. So I'll try to go quick through this. Mike Burrell, item 1, minutes on the consent agenda. That's ridiculous. People want to talk about the minutes. This is the way you guys hide stuff. In general, city staff recommendation. That's a bunch of baloney, anonymous. If you recommend something, be person enough to put your name on it. Item 4, legal review. No, it's a complex plat, unexecuted parkland warranty deed. So the first two I dinged you for 150, that one 200. No parkland fees workshop again. You guys still, I've never seen a good one. That's $100. FEMA floodway retention plan submitted, $300. The flume is ridiculous. It's a total bunch of BS. You guys all know the comprehensive plan. So anytime you do something and it refers to the flume, I'm going to ask for a fine for you guys. I'm saying $300 on that. Chapter 380 incentive agreement, not even in the document. Don't you think we get tired of you guys talking about how much money you give people away and you don't even tell us how much you do it? I get tired of it. Let's move on to Scott Dunlap here. So anyway, the total for that's $2,000, but if it goes all the way through RICO and racketeering, it's $16,000 for one meeting. I don't do the fines. That's up to the jury and the judge. Okay, so Scott Dunlap, the flume thing, again, comp plan, $200, non-discretionary designation. You say it's non-discretionary, and then you have discretionary, non-discretionary, or postponed. Which is it? You're contradicting your own dumb plan. $200. No plaza, again, 5269.69 acres. You don't even put a plaza on. Who do you think's going to approve these plazas if none of you guys do it? And it's like 20 years from now, we don't have one single nothing except a bunch of subdivisions and shopping centers. Okay, you guys, item 2 on Scott. You split up this Manor Commons so it's like one small parcel instead of the whole development. It's the plaza per the developer. You don't get to split it up into little lots, and you guys are all smart enough to know this. But you guys think you can get away with working 3 hours a month? I got news for you. We need way more than that. And the only way I think I can get you guys to get off your duffs is by fining you. Pauline Gray, the engineering too. You don't get to say it's a floodplain and call it a parkland, okay? You know better than that. You can do something other than, oh, well, gee, it just is, it meets the criteria. That's baloney. So I've got you on here. Let's see, Pauline Gray, $1,000 for that. Certified compliance on a fragmented submission designed to evade plaza ordinance. That's item 2, $1,000. Okay, here's Barry. This guy here is the new city attorney. I wanted to ask him a question about how come we're not even taking citizen complaints. He wouldn't even talk to me. He says, oh, you have to bill. You have to bill. Because I have to bill. Well, baloney. I've got you on here, $500 times 2. Times 8, that's $8,000 for you. Paige Sands, she's on here. Jeffrey Stenson, I've got you on here. Item 2 and 4, allowed non-discretionary self-contradiction there, $550. Minutes on consent, that's ridiculous. Okay, then you're talking about the flume on the comprehensive plan. You guys all know the comp plan is a total bunch of BS. And I sent you like 30 pages of all the screw-ups in there. I hope you guys are ever getting your email. That's another thing I'm going to ask on the stand is, when I send him an email 3 days ago, how long does it take before he gives it to you? You guys cannot even get your own email address. Do you realize how impotent that looks? It looks very impotent to me. Okay, now ID Cap, they're here tonight too, I guess. I was wondering who the heck they were. So they managed to get a Chapter 380 before they've even bought the property. That takes a lot of skill, or else a lot of help from the city that doesn't really... See, the city staff does not work for the people. The city staff works for the developers. And the city is being held hostage by the staff. And they're like, basically it's a 5th grade student council being run by 4th graders without any adult supervision. So anyway, if you add up all these things, and also a lot of these, it's all 7 commissioners. If all 7 commissioners do such and such, it's all of you guys. I've got 4,000 in
Battle,
here.
your time has expired. Thank you.
Thank you.
All the following items will be considered on the consent agenda are considered to be self-explanatory by the Planning and Zoning Commission and will be enacted upon with one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless requested by the chair or commissioner themselves, in which event the item will be removed off the consent agenda and considered separately. There is one item on the consent agenda. It's consideration, discussion, and possible action to approve the minutes for the May 13th, 2026 Planning and Zoning regular session. And commissioners, the minutes are in your backup. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
And I'll second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Meyer and a motion seconded by Commissioner Pies to, or Vice Chair Pies to, no, Commissioner Pies to approve the minutes. Any questions to the motion? Seeing none, hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your hand. Opposed? That motion passes unanimously. And for the record, Commissioner Terry is off the dice tonight, is absent. Consideration, or item 2 is consideration, discussion, and possible action on a subdivision final plat for Lot 6, Block A of the Manor Commons Southeast Commercial Subdivision, one lot on 1.341 acres, more or less, and being generally located at the southeast corner, or to the southeast of the intersection of US Highway 290 and Greenberry Drive in Manor, Texas. The applicant is Bowman Consulting Group Ltd, and of course the owner is Timmerman Commercial Investments LP. I do not have anyone signed up to speak on this item, except for Mr. Battle, who's already spoken. Staff, a brief overview of this non-discretionary item.
Sure. So yes, this is a plat. It has been approved by City Engineering, so we're recommending approval. It is over there, Manor Commons, next to Dairy Queen. So it's another lot in Manor Commons East, or Manor Commons Phase 2. It's where PNC Bank is proposed to go. We have development plans in for them, and so as part of their development process is having their lot platted. So this is that plat, and then they'll have administrative permits for site plan and building permit.
Thank you. Any questions of staff? Besides where the chicken place is? I'm kidding. We're fine.
I do have a
Yeah.
question. When you see the drawing on the layout on the aerial map, are they gonna have to cut out that sidewalk that we already have out there?
No, they won't be modifying any of the sidewalks that are in Timmerman Park. The sidewalk that's in front of Dairy Queen gets extended along the frontage of their property. So they're required to have sidewalks along their public road frontage. And then separately, the city is working with the main developer to actually take that drive aisle that's in front of Dairy Queen that PNC will extend and actually bringing that around in between that little sidewalk there, Timmerman Park and 290, to connect over to where HTO is. That's part of that was the master plan for the commercial development there. But to help traffic move around, the city's looking to sort of accelerate the construction of that drive aisle. But that's sort of all part of it, that drive aisle. And then there will be additional sidewalk, but no removal of existing sidewalks.
Mr. Dunlop, are you talking about the drive aisle on the front of the lot or on the drive aisle kind of on the rear of the lots?
Yes, thank you. The drive aisle that would be extended to go around is the one on the front.
Okay. So it'd go right there adjacent to the kind of top of the pond or top of the creek that we see there now.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Thank you.
So
Will there
there'll
be
be
access down
exit out on 290?
This lot wouldn't have any new connections to 973. It would only use the right in, right out that exists, or you can take that back drive aisle down to Ring Road, or once that drive aisle connects over to HTO, that can take you around to 290 for that existing driveway connection there.
And that golden chick that's going there
Yes.
shortly. Okay. Thank you. My grandmother would be very happy with that. She walks right now in very scary way. I just hear about the stories of her crossing the street. I know. All of our friends at Commons. Any other questions, commissioners? All righty. I will entertain a motion on item 1.
I make a motion to approve.
I have a motion by Commissioner Pies to approve item 1. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner.
Mendoza.
Why do I always forget?
Mendoza.
And it is Mendoza. Okay, I'm not crazy. It's Daniel.
Yes.
Daniel. All right. Commissioners, any questions to the motion? I'll remember within a year. All those in favor, raise your hand. Opposed? That motion passes unanimously. Item 2 is consideration, discussion, and possible action on a subdivision final plat for Lot 6, Block A of the Maynard. Wait, I'm so sorry. I love Groundhog Day way too much. Item 3, that was item 2, by the way, that we just approved. Commissioners, are you comfortable with leaving the motion as read? Okay. Apologies for my mistake there. And staff, the record reflects that this was item 2 that we just approved. All right, thank you. Item 3 is consideration, discussion, and possible action on a coordinated sign plan for Kimbrough Crossing commercial development. The applicant is Image National Signs, and the owner is Identity Capital. I believe the coordinated sign plan is in your backup. Staff, talk to us about the signs.
Sure. So this one there's a larger pylon sign on 290 that's 55 feet, which is the same height as the existing one for Manor Crossing where H-E-B and Home Depot, so it's that size. So that's the larger size on 290. And then there's a smaller 15-foot one that would be on Old Kimbrough at one of their main entrances on Kimbrough. And then the majority of the signs are 7-foot pad site signs. I believe there's 14 of those for each. There's one for each commercial lot. And so they'll have the similar design standard. And then for the attached wall signs, this the individual pad sites will follow city code in terms of the amount of square footage they have. And then for the larger retailers, so the Hobby Lobby and Academy that are proposed to be over there, they would have a similar attached wall sign standard as Manor Crossing, so it's 20% of their wall area. So if you imagine like kind of TJ Maxx and Burlington, the size those are, that's kind of probably similar to what Hobby Lobby and Academy would be. It's the same calculation standard, and so it's 20% of their wall minus windows and door area. There isn't a maximum size that they can have, but it's still ultimately limited by 20%. That would be the maximum, but if they want to combine all that 20% into one sign, they're able to do that, but it should be fine. They're also limited. It's kind of small. It's the text that's in the bottom right-hand corner, and it's 75% of the tenant frontage, so that's the maximum length. So there are still some upper limits on the length and square footage of them, but as I said, the majority of all the pad sites follow city code, and it's just the 4 or 5 larger retailers that have the modification to the 20% of the wall area.
So if they were able to max out their sign square footage, they could have it go and have like a 12.5% buffer on each side for each tenant space.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Which I guess creates like a 25% buffer between each sign of Griffin and each
Yes.
space. Okay. And I did ask last week about the windows and doors when I met with staff to figure this out. So yes, thank you for that clarification on that, minus the doors and windows. Commissioners, do you have any questions of staff? Alrighty. Seeing none, I will entertain a motion on item 3.
I make a motion to approve item number 3.
I have a motion by Commissioner Mendoza to approve item 3. Do I have a second? Seconded by Commissioner Aubert. Any questions to the motion? Seeing none and hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your hand. Those opposed? That motion passes 6-0. The final item on tonight's agenda, item 4, is consideration, discussion, and possible action on a subdivision final plat for Kimbrough Crossing, which now has a site plan, being 3 lots on 10.9834 acres, more or less, and being generally located to the northwest of the intersection of U.S. Highway 290 and Old Kimbrough Road in Manor, Texas. The applicant is Baron Stark Engineers, and the owner is Timmerman Commercial Investments. Mr. Sayer, you are signed up to speak. I appreciate your writing because it reminds me I also have very similar writing. I'm a son of an engineer. So did you want to speak on this item or did you want to just be available for questions? Okay. And that's Pat Sayer is on the record. Commissioner or staff, talk to us a little bit about this item, please.
Sure. So these are the lots that are associated with Hobby Lobby and Academy. So it isn't the final plat for the whole development. It's just for those two proposed retailers and the detention pond and the right of way that's on there. So it's a Gun Lane and Winning Way, and then the 2 lots in the detention pond area that will serve as a regional detention for the whole development. And so it's pretty straightforward. Engineering has approved it, so staff is recommending approval.
The conformance letter, I think, is also on the back. Yes, it is. Commissioners, any questions of staff? Thank you, Ms. Gray, for being here. You never know when I have a question. Any questions from the transportation engineer? On either side of me? Oh, a question, Commissioner.
So all entrances and stuff will be off of Kimbrough Road, none will be on 290. Is that correct?
There's one on
Oh.
US 290, so it's a public street,
Yeah.
and as part of their text out improvements, there's a right-hand turn lane that will be constructed for that public street, which is Winning Way.
Yeah.
And then there's 2 access points on Old Kimbrough, Gun Lane, which will be right in, or excuse, right out,
Right in
out,
and
yeah.
right out.
Because there's a median there, and then a private drive just to the north of that. That's full access. So if you were to enter the development from Old Kimbrough, it would be off that access drive.
If there are trees that are in that median right now, will they be relocated by this developer to another plot or to another space? Or there's not just grass there, correct? Mr. Sayre, sorry. Yeah. Are you in the grass only section
My
of that?
writing is terrible, by the way. I'm Pat Sauer. I'm with Identity Capital. And I don't think there's a tree where we're putting that left turn lane. There is a traffic, or not a traffic light, a street light that we have to relocate. And just, I guess for further information, we're also adding a right turn lane on westbound 290 to Old Kimbrough. We're widening at Old Kimbrough and 290, and we're adding a second left turn lane from 290 onto Old Kimbrough. So there's quite a bit of
Intersection improvements that will be happening.
yeah, a lot, yes. And we had to relocate a traffic signal. There's a lot.
So you have to do and the traffic signal's only 2 years old. Sorry, you have to move it. I know.
Yeah.
Thank
So-
you.
Mm-hmm.
And I see you already have these inlets already semi-paved, at least the approaches. Is that correct?
They are not.
Oh, they're not. Oh,
No,
I'm
the-
way too far north on this thing.
Yes, I think the existing approaches are too far north.
Okay.
And so we're dedicating Gun Lane and Winning Way to the tie-in at 290.
Okay.
As part of this plat.
Yep.
Yes.
Are there any heritage or trees that need to be saved or relocated?
We did a, there aren't that many trees on the
That lot?
property.
No.
We did an analysis. I don't remember the numbers. I think there's something like
7.
3 maybe that we're having to
Relocate or
add to
remove.
our tree count
Mhm.
in the landscaping.
Any of them heritage trees?
I don't know the answer to that.
I'd be interested in knowing.
Okay. I will find out. Cecil Meyer.
I have a question as well. For the access onto Old Kimbrough itself, are y'all, I know this is a little outside maybe of the platting discussion, but are y'all planning to cut that median at all? You're going to allow?
We are
Same.
the north, that private drive on the north end. That's a median break, and that's where we've got a street light in the way. We're going to have to relocate.
Is that going to be south of that bridge right there?
Yes. It. Do you see the private drive and how it kind of winds in front of the
Yeah.
planned retail? That's where the median break is.
And then not one on Gun?
On the Gun Lane, no. That'll
On
be
Winning
right in the
Way,
out.
no.
Or on,
And not a Gun. It's too close.
Yeah.
to
It's within
290.
like 200 feet, I think, of the intersection.
Yeah, it's about 300. Yeah, about
300 feet.
250 or something
Yeah.
like that.
great.
It
thank
was
you.
too close.
We appreciate that.
Yeah.
That consideration. And Commissioner Albert, I believe, just for reference, this median break will also tie into the development. I think on the east side is where they're having their driveway. Inlet, Mr. Burrell.
I'm
The
not sure that
the property for Kimbrough, the Manor Heights
the north-
commercial, their access will also be kind of aligned to that same one, correct? So it'll be like a true, like a tee up. Oh, so they can't access that anyway. Oh, then there's no worry about that having conflict. Okay. Just kidding. It'll be a left in.
Unless they want a bridge.
Yeah. Any other questions, commissioners?
So that original entry that's there now, that's where you're gonna continue it, or
The original entry. No, that's further north than
Okay.
where we're going. Yes.
Yeah. They're right there at the split where it's kind of.
Are you talking about the curb cut where the gates are, the cattle gates? Off of
I'm talking where the
Oh,
entrance
Kimber.
of the where. I mean, I'm.
Oh, where the trailers are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where they were up until a couple weeks
Th-
ago.
those. Okay, so there is a billboard.
There it is.
Yeah,
So the
Or
entryway
there's-
at the bottom.
we're further. We
East.
had to get further
No. West.
west.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to be
Okay.
further west because of the speed of the traffic on
Okay.
290.
for
That's
for that lane. Yeah.
For that right turn lane, it had to be further west.
Yeah.
For TxDOT requirements.
For the deceleration lane. Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a really messy one just about a half mile up from you at Paseo de Presidente where you think that they're going to turn right and then they don't. They keep going on that deceleration lane to the Chevron. So, because theirs is a continuation of that, what was just a right turn.
Right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Commissioners, any other questions? I will entertain a motion on item 4.
I move that we approve agenda item number 4.
I have a motion by Vice Chair Neela to approve item 4. Do I have a second to that motion?
I'll second.
I have a second by Commissioner Pies. Any discussion of the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please raise your hand. Opposed? That motion passes 6-0. That concludes the agenda for tonight. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion by Commissioner Pye, seconded by Vice Chair Neela. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Motion passes, and we are adjourned at 6:55 p.m. Thank you. Their protected